guys, welcome back. In this video I'm going to be making a wig. This wig was actually for my client, it wasn't for me. I already started sewing down the closure, and I know you see hair under the cap. It's because my friend got this wig started from someone else, and she showed hair under the wig cap just so if you pull it up in a ponytail, you can, not see any of the cap. I don't really use this method because I feel like the hair tangles at the nape, so I try to stay away from this method. But my friend, she just wanted me to finish it, so I did. So I'm just sewing the closure, and as you can see, I did the right side first and then I did the left, and then I go to the middle to sew. And I do it like this so I know that both sides is sewn down and you won't have any gaps on the side. If you're gonna have any gaps, the best place for it to be, if you have to have it, is in the back. So always remember, go from right to left and then the middle, or from left to right and then the middle. Never do all the way around because that gives you gaps. So now I'm gonna sew down the first track on the right side, and I literally just go from one end to the other. Some people start in the back and just like flip their way to the top, but what I do, and I find easier and I think it lays flatter, I just go from right to left or sometimes left to right, and that helps me, and it also takes away a lot of time with the wig. I find that me just doing this takes me less time, so that's just what I do instead. But if you feel comfortable with flipping your wefts like how some people do it and gradually making your way from side to side, then you can definitely do that. So when I get to like close to the closure, you can see that I go through my weft with the needle and then I sew, just so when I flip the track, it lays flat, because I don't cut any tracks. I stay away from cutting tracks really in the wig, because I think that when you cut the tracks, it makes the hair shed, and so I just try to stay away from cutting the tracks as much as possible. So that's why I prefer to use the flip over method instead of cutting my tracks. I was never really a fan of sealing wefts and doing all of that extra stuff. So just to avoid any extra shedding, because the hair is going to shed, all hair sheds, I just don't cut the tracks. I leave it the way it is and I do the flip over method, and I just make sure I put the needle through the track while I'm ending the track before I flip it, so I know when I flip it, it lays extra flat. So as you can see, I'm gonna cut the track when it gets next to the closure, only because I don't like to keep flipping next to the closure, because I want the closure to lay as flat as possible. So I just clip off the excess hair and start from side to side again, because I don't like it to be flipped by the closure, because I don't feel like it lays the flattest that it can. If you guys know a method that you can flip it by the closure and it still lays flat, please leave a comment below, or if you know any tips that you can give me, leave a comment below. I would really appreciate it. So you see that there's like a little square in the middle left of me to sew hair. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the track and just go up section by section. And I usually do this again so my closure can lay flat. Everything that I put and install on this wig, I make sure I install it good enough for my closure to lay as flat as possible. So I'm just gonna go up until I get all the way to the closure. I like the last track in the closure literally to be like kind of laying on top of each other, but not really. Just so if you part and the wind blows or anything like that, you won't have any tracks showing or your closure showing. So that's what I like to do. So now I'm just going in and cutting off the excess material on the bottom of the closure, just so you know you get the realistic look. And make sure you stay tuned for part 2 of me actually making this closure look like a frontal and installing it on my client. I hope you guys enjoyed and you learned something for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell so you won't miss any more new videos. And until next time, bye Subbies, peace.
What's my name?